Hey guys, welcome to the Together for Good podcast, your guide into the real and inspired marriage and life adventure that you never knew was possible. I'm Meredith Osterhaus, the daughter of your hosts, Dan and Melodie Grootman. Mom and Dad's teaching, stories, and experiences with lots of laughing mixed in will move you to make your marriage last, all while making a difference in the world around you. Are you ready? Here we go!
Hey friends, so good to see you again. I got my John Lennon glasses on. I'm looking good today.
And I got my Carolina cup on the celebration of our victory and upset over Georgia. So that's been several weeks ago.
All those many weeks ago, but you're still celebrating.
Celebrate when you can.
We're not going to talk about some of the other games, but we're going to talk about that one.
We're going to talk about that one.
Yes, we are. And you know what else we're going to talk about today? We're going to talk about, first of all, that we have a bonus episode on our intentional series. Yeah. We told you we were going to have 3. We lied. We have 4.
Well, no, we just came up with another one that we really feel is important, that deserves some time. And stay tuned. We got an important announcement at the end, so don't cut out on us.
We're not pregnant.
No, that wasn't even funny.
So we're talking about being intentional in our marriage.
And by the way, just being intentional. There may be some times that you'll hear television in the background. Sometimes Grandma's got to get her some Fox News. So while she's in there hanging out with Tucker, we're in here hanging out with you. So we're grateful for Tucker and we're grateful for you. So if you hear those noises in the background, you're not making it up. It's Grandma enjoying her friends.
The dryer's going, the dishwasher's going.
Dogs will be going. Jonathan will be.
Dogs.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's all good. But I tell you what we're doing. We're being intentional.
That's right. Because if we wait for things here to get perfectly settled and quiet,
it's not going to happen.
It just doesn't happen.
It is not going to happen. So we've talked about 3 ways to be intentional in your marriage. Yeah. And so here's the 4th. It's a big one.
It is.
It's something that
I think it's important.
That we are going to challenge you guys to do annually, and that is to invest annually.
Yep.
So what does that look like? Well, first of all, why? Why in the world do we want to invest annually? Well, we value what we invest in.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like a Wall Street guy, okay? But, if you follow the great investors, they have a strategy. And usually it's when the market dips. That's not the time to sell. That's the time to buy. And what we watch the way many people approach their marriages, it's when things start to dip that they start bailing and trying to jump out and sell while you can. That's really the time that you need to be investing.
Don't miss
and
that.
And really so pushing powerful. Into that. So
that is so powerful. That's not the time to jump ship.
And by the way,
hunker down.
A great investment strategy is that you're investing regularly, regardless of what the quote-unquote the market's doing. So whether you're
the smooth sailing and the tempestuous waters.
Well, how about that? Spell that one out.
It's the glasses.
It's the glasses. So whether your marriage stock is going up or whether it's going down, you still need to keep investing, because if you're going to go together for good and investing for the long haul, this is the way to make it happen, but it's also the way to make sure that not only that your marriage lasts the long haul, but that your marriage leaves a legacy.
Yep.
Because that's what we're inviting you to on this. The marriage journey, an adventure that you never thought was possible. Mm-hmm. So if you want something that other people don't have, you probably need to do something other people aren't doing.
Oh, that is a writer downer.
Well,
so one of the things you and I talked about, Dan, is that we get training for our jobs, training, continuing education, or we go to a work conference or what have you. How much more so would we not do that? How much more so should we do that in something so much more important to us than our job, our marriage?
Because that's what I do, right? I do corporate training and coaching. So there's an old adage of the CFO, the financial officer, who comes to the CEO, the chief executive, and says, hey, listen, we got to be, maybe we shouldn't be spending all this money to train our employees, because hey, what if they leave? And the CEO looks back at him and says, well, what if they stay? So investing is something that you just can't live without.
Right.
But
we do.
Yeah.
We do. We kind of hobble along, and we do all the other things that vie for our attention, that jockey for our attention, and then we turn around and go, wait, we haven't done a thing for our marriage.
And just so you know, when we talk about investing in your marriage, we're talking about surrounding yourself with other people that can speak into your marriage, that can walk alongside you, whether it be training, teaching, coaching, counseling, whatever these different avenues where people can be pouring into you. That's what we're talking about. So one of the things that I learned from a great mentor of mine, his statement was this: "Hey Dan, your very best thinking is what has put you right where you are." So it's probably a good idea to let somebody else think for you for a little while. And that can really be like a 2x4 between the eyes. But it's so true, right? We get it where we are, and we think we're going to think our way out of this, or we're going to come up with some clever, subtle way to maneuver through this, when our best thinking is what put us where we were.
So did you get that? Your very best thinking is what got you to where you are. So maybe you're in a great spot, but you want to go farther, or maybe you're in the ditch, and you're like, I'm not quite sure how to get out.
Well, you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
So having other people challenge your thinking and expand your horizons is always a positive thing.
Absolutely. So if we are going to invest annually in our marriage, this is something that is, we use the word investment. So it is an investment of time. We suggest a weekend. It's an investment of time.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
Okay, a 2-week cruise. You talked me into it.
Well, I mean, listen. I know. No, I'm not doing it. An investment. What can that look like? And we've got a great announcement for you in a few minutes. But yeah, it could be a weekend event. It could be a marriage enrichment class at your church, or someone in your community who is doing some type of a marriage small group where you're able to invest in your marriage by, just working on it in that capacity. There's a lot of different ways
to do it.
Yeah.
But the word invest, we chose that very intentionally. Get it, the intentionals.
Hey.
We chose that word so intentionally because it insinuates that you are giving something. You are giving it your time. You're giving it your attention. You're saying, this is important. This is a big deal. We're gonna do maybe a hard reset. We're gonna reboot. We're gonna get some new perspective.
By the way, it's never going to be convenient. The timing is never going to set up perfectly. Kind of like us, you can hear Fox News. The timing is never perfect, so you can come up with 50 different reasons why you can't.
Absolutely.
But I know this is facts. This is just flat out facts.
It is.
We do what's important to us.
We do what's important. That's really good. So 2 things about investing annually. We feel like there are 2 big payoffs. The first one is new space. And what we mean by that is it is a place where you can take a deep breath. You exhale the old and you inhale the new. It is a place of breath space, a place of margin, a place that is out of the ordinary. And most often it is a place. It is a different geographical place than you're used to. But it's just a new space.
We don't do margin well. And everything, I mean, again, I don't have my phone with me, thankfully, right now. I don't even know where it is. But, we're always connected. We're into the technology, there's never any margin. And so
explain what you mean by margin. I know what you mean.
White
explain
space.
What that means.
Think about a page. And rather than that page be wall to wall, nothing but
words,
ink.
Yeah.
There's got to be some space there that allows. Okay, Vanna, you can put that down now.
And in our northern states, we have rain.
Stop. Then if you don't have that margin, it all blurs together. Nothing's important. If everything's important, nothing's important.
It's all noise, and
you've got to have that space, that white space, that margin, so that you can be able to focus in. You got to be able to focus on what's important to be able
So
to
when
get
you
there.
invest annually, you have new space.
Yeah.
And then you also have new perspective. Talk to me a little bit about
Well,
that.
that goes back to what I said earlier. My best thinking is what put us right where we are. So what books are you reading? What podcasts are you listening to? That's the reason we started this podcast. What videos are you watching? Who has your ear to give you insight? Because it's really difficult to go somewhere you've never been. So if you want a marriage that makes it all the way and then leaves a legacy, we might need some outside perspective
Some
on that.
fresh eyes,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I can think of times in our life where we had other couples that had walked ahead of us,
We still do.
and we still do. And they would shine the flashlight on
Right.
the potholes.
Yeah.
And guys,
That's a good word to say it.
That is what we want to do for you. There are so many different. I could be watching some Downton Abbey right now. That's a whole nother conversation. That is my margin space right now. Is where I just unplug and check out, and just something so totally different than my binging.
Papa.
Than my normal life. But what I was going to say is, right now in this moment, we're doing this podcast. You know why? Because doggone it, we want to show you where the potholes are. We care about you. We want to be here for you because people have done that for us. They are doing it for us.
And there are other people that are more than glad to come alongside and be that light. I love that idea of showing you the potholes to help you make sure you keep everything in alignment. I like that.
Absolutely. So if we're going to be intentional about our marriage, we are going to invest annually.
Yeah.
Now, I also want to tell you this. I know it's crazy, but investing annually is not just going to magically show up on your calendar. It's crazy. It doesn't happen.
That's why it's called the intentionals.
You have to be intentional and schedule it.
That's right.
Now, there are many ways that you can do this. You're big boys and girls. You can Google. You can find things, opportunities.
Yeah.
But we have an announcement.
We do. And here's the announcement's maybe not quite that big, but what we're asking you to do, we've got a save the date. And the date is Friday, April 24th through Sunday, April 26th. We are going to be presenting the first inaugural Invest in Your Marriage weekend. We haven't come up with a real snappy name for it yet. But here's what we're looking for with this weekend. We're looking for a place.
I'm trying not to interrupt you right now because I'm just so excited. Keep talking.
We're looking for a place that is going to be intentional. This isn't going to be like a big conference event with hundreds of couples.
Nothing wrong with that, but that's not what this is.
That's not what this one is. This is going to be limited to a very small number of couples.
This is highly personalized, y'all.
So it's going to be somewhere in the range of 10 to 12 couples. That's what we're targeting. We're going to have intentional activities. We're going to have fun. By the way, if we ain't having fun, Dan and Melodie ain't there.
What?
So there's going to be fun involved, but it's also
was so dumb sounding when I just.
I wasn't going to say anything. I was going to just gonna let it go.
No, if any of our kids are listening to this right now, like, Mom, stop. Please.
Yeah. Well,
Then again,
they're right. Sometimes.
Daily occurrence.
Don't worry, they do it for Dad too.
I keep trying to knock that over.
So that's what's going on that weekend. Save the date. Begin now even considering, is this something that we need to be part of?
It's going to be so awesome.
So I'm really excited about it. You're going to get more information. So don't freak out. Don't say, well, you didn't tell me how much and you didn't tell me where, and you're going to get all of that tonight. We just want you to go ahead and save the date and begin praying. God, is this a way that you want us to invest in our marriage in 2020? How do we make 2020 a year of moving forward, investing in our marriage? So
Absolutely.
that's what we're excited about, and we look forward to telling you more about that. More details will come in the coming weeks.
Next podcast, we're going to have a weather map here. It's going to be so great, and I'm going to. Just kidding. We're not really going to do that.
It's not really going to do that. So
No. But we want you to be intentional about your marriage. We talked about lots of different
connecting
ways.
daily, dating weekly, retreating monthly, and investing annually. If you get those 4 things right. Hey, by the way, haven't heard anybody talk about their homework. the praying together with your spouse, doing the marriage journal, coming up with some creative ideas for dates
and for retreat.
Yeah, and for
retreating.
So those opportunities are still all out there. Check us out on our social media pages, especially Facebook and Instagram. We are Together for Good. On both of those, you can find us.
And thank you for your positive feedback. You can't imagine what that means to us. It really fuels the
so
fire
many
that
of you have been telling your friends,
doing the right thing,
and we're getting that feedback. And listen, God's doing some cool things in people's lives, and we're excited about that. This is not about Dan and Melody. This is about you being able to experience something that you really never thought was possible. Again, that's our whole mission, is to invite you on a marriage adventure.
Because we have, and we are, and we're on the marriage adventure.
Yeah.
And we just want you to come along with us. It's going to be great. Hey, thanks for joining us. We pray that your heart was encouraged today, that you're motivated to be intentional, to continue to be intentional. And we are together for good.
So this week's show may be over, but the work has just begun. Be sure to check out the great resources and references mentioned in today's show in the show notes at wearetogetherforgood.com/podcast. It is also super easy to subscribe to the show so you never miss an episode. Hey, if this podcast has been an encouragement to you in your marriage and life journey, please let the people in your world know. Help us spread the word about the Together for Good adventure by following us on our Facebook and Instagram pages. This would go a long way to help get the word out. Don't forget to check out our website, wearetogetherforgood.com, for free resources, archived podcast episodes, and other ways you can experience a life and marriage that is together for good.